Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Wednesday, March 17th, 2021, and we again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day. This is going to be an interesting last hour of the day because of the Fed announcement that happened about an hour ago. It's been a wild and crazy market today. Good thing it has moved up here at the end, so I'm very grateful for that. The last hour of the trading day is my preferred time to make the majority of my buying selling decisions because at the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they take control away from the day traders and the algorithms. I consider them smart money because they are dealing with the most money. They are dealing with, they have very, very smart people on staff, best information, best technology. And I believe in the long run, following what the large financial institutions do at the end of the day for your swing trades is an edge in your trading. So thank you all for coming today. It's always great to see everyone. I hope you're all staying safe out there. Appreciate the time that you're investing here, and I hope that you're getting some kind of return on your time that you spend here and learning about trading and investing. So currently, well, let's take a look at this wild one. Currently, the Dow is up 189 points, up 0.58%. The NASDAQ is up 86 points now, up 0.65% after being down, I don't know, over 1% for sure. And the S&P is up 14.69, up 0.37%. So here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a couple day trades today that I will share with you as well that worked out nicely. After that, my students have their positions up on the board. It wasn't looking too hot tamale earlier in the day, but it looks great now. So we'll go through and see how those are doing. After that, talk a little bit about trader psychology, get away from the charts for a minute and talk about what really matters in the big scheme of things. And that is your emotions, creating a plan and following a plan. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. And I do have 3 quick requirements before I look to enter any trade. First requirement has to have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Second requirement, you have to have a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. And third, just be careful and take a few minutes before you hit that buy button. Make sure it's something that you want to do. Make sure it's a clean trade. All right. Okay. Then I will go through the end of day candidates. If I find something at the end that qualifies with all 3 of those requirements, I will go ahead and purchase it before the close of the market. After the market, if you have any questions for me, if I can be of assistance, please let me know. If you'd like me to take a look at some stock symbols, I would appreciate if you put them in the chat, put them an asterisk or emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if any of my students have any additions or subtractions to the board today, if you could please wait till the end of the day before you tell me about them. And that way I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, pressure's off, all that good stuff, and then we'll take as much time as we need. So I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Hang tight, and I will see you in about 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Okie dokie. Good to have everyone. Give me 1 second. I was just doing a little calculation on my little calculator. And that's that right there. Okay, that was good. Okay. All right. Well, let's see who is here and what is going on. And oh, give me one more second. Apologize. I should have done this before. All right. Let me take care of that like so. Almost done. Almost done. 48. Sorry, everybody. My apologies. 28. Okay. I should have done that before. Shoulda. All right. Now, let's see who is here. All right. Here we go. Lava 74 in first place, almost as usual. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Jonathan D, good to see you. Looking forward to working with you, Jonathan. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you as well. Appreciate that. Gary says, hello, Greg and group. I hope the luck of the Irish is with everyone today. Well, I hope so too. Johan is here. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're having a good evening in Hong Kong. Kamal is here. Good to see you, Kamal. Thanks for everything that you do for this channel and for your friendship. I appreciate it. Dan says, hi, Greg and Gossett Familia. Good to see you, Dan. Always good to have you here. Appreciate you being here. You've been here a long time, and I really do appreciate that. Kamal says, Gary, any shop for you today? Mamal says, hey, everyone. Hey, what's going on, Mamal? I've been watching eBay ever since you got into that trade. I check it every day for you. I'm like, oh, I hope that goes up for Mamal, and it certainly did. Carlos, good to see you, buddy. Hope you are doing well. Hi, everyone, and happy hump day. Hump day, yes. Lova says, EMR, it didn't like its down day yesterday, and the 20 EMA has held as support for more than a month, and the weekly chart is in a nice uptrend. What's that one, EMR? Yeah, bounced right in the value zone, didn't it? No sideways motion, though. CRWD. Yeah, that's not a bad. Higher low V1 would have to close above 50, though. Miko 25 is here. Good to see you, Miko. Bear with me today. I went to dinner last night with my old roommate, way back when I was a lifeguard on the beach in California. And we went to dinner, we caught up, and after dinner, we stood outside for a minute, and it's right at the canyon of this mountain, and the wind, man, just went through me. It just chilled me to the bone. I like came home and sat in my fireplace in my jacket for like an hour trying to warm up. So feeling a little weak today. So take it easy on me. It's been a crazy trading day. So if I'm a little slow today, you'll understand why. Carlos says, Bud with the 520 crossover earlier today. Excuse me, everybody. Yeah, I don't know if the 520 crossover is legitimate. I mean, it's a crossover, but I don't know if it backed us. Well, Tracy, good to see you. Thank you for your understanding. Tracy and I had a lesson tonight, but man, I just feel like I have a fever and I just don't feel well. And I was wondering earlier today, like, how am I going to get through this podcast? So hopefully we'll get through, but thanks, Trace. I've never, ever rescheduled an appointment with my one-on-one students ever. This is the first time, so appreciate your understanding. Morgs is here. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening in South Africa. That sounds nice and warm. Okay, so let's take a little look-see over here like this. All right, let's start out. Here we go. Facebook. Facebook's been a really good trade for me. I did buy Facebook back here at 268.32, 520 crossover. I did not actually even see it. I'm not sure I would have bought it up here. It looked a little chasey. But the next day, came back down, tested the 50-day moving average, tested the 50 RSI, held above all the moving averages, still under the crossover. MACD was positive. And so I bought it here at 268.32, and it has just gone up ever since I bought it. Did hit one profit target today at 283.47. So this has been a great trade. This is up 5.99% from entry to current price. So that's been an excellent trade. Merck has also been an excellent trade. Gary and I both bought Merck back here at 72.08, double bottom with the bullish divergence, meaning that we have a low with deep red MACD bars. We rally into some green MACD bars. We make a lower low. That's the setup. Once I have the setup, I need a trigger to get me into the trade. The trigger was an under 30, over 30. Got it at 72.08, at 77.56. I did sell half here when we rejected the 50-day moving average, but I am glad that I held the other half because right now this trade is up over 6.61%. I'm waiting for either rejection of this 50-day moving average or a close below the previous day's low to exit and take profits. QuantumScape. Lily and I bought QuantumScape at 58.41 with the 520 crossover. I like the location when it was right here in the value zone. Bought it at 58.41. Didn't do anything. Didn't do much the next day. About break even. Had a big move up. Did hit some profit targets yesterday. Had a big move down. Went slightly negative on the trade. Today it went down even lower, but it is up 4.28% today, and it is back above Lily and I's entry point. So very grateful for that. No profit targets today, but up on the trade, which is good. SPY. Of course, I buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I sell it first thing the next morning. I bought it yesterday at the close at 395.91. I sold it this morning at 394.56. So this was a losing trade. Bought at 395.91, sold at 394.56. But this month has been a wonderful, superb, great overnight SPY trade month. So I will buy this again at the close. I'll hold it overnight. I'll take the overnight risk and I'll sell it first thing tomorrow morning. Square. All right. So Frank, Gary, and myself did buy Square with the 1050 EMA crossover. Bought it here at 241.85. The 1050 EMA crossover does backtest positively and profitably over the long run. So bought it 241.85. Next day had a nice big up day. Did take some profits. Yesterday reversed back down. Today opened ugly, but reversed back up, and it is in the money. I don't know, about 6 points on the trade so far. MACD's positive. V1, see the higher low V1 here. That's not a bad setup just by itself. Higher low V1 with MACD being green, and that's a pretty clean trade. I'm already in it, so I won't be taking this, but you know, this would interest me if I was looking to enter Square. Bonds. Well, tell you what, let me show you day trades on bonds so I can clean up the chart because this was a hot mess today. All right, I did buy bonds here. This is a very clean trade, everybody. On the 5 minutes, we have a low. Carlos, if you're out there, listen up because this is the point I was trying to make. We make a low, so this is the low of the range. We rally, we come back down, we wash out this low, and then we reverse back up with the V1. So it's two things. It's a V1. Here's bar 1, bar 2. Bar 2 washes out bar 1. Bar 2 closes, bar 1's closed. Also went under the negative third, over the negative third Keltner channel, but it also washed out this low. The washout bar washed it all out and reversed right back up. So hope that makes sense, but it's called a false breakout to the downside of the range in addition to a V1. I bought here at 134.65 on the 5 minute. Danced around a little bit, held my stop, had a nice big up bar, sold at 134.80, had another bar here where we rejected the 50 RSI. I got out at 134.91, kept moving up, broke out to a new range. I sold what a portion of what I had left at 135.02, and then here when it rejected the 50 SMA, I got out of all of it. So I got in at 134.65, out at 134.80, out at 134.91, and at 135.02. So nice trade. Then of course, we had the Fed announcement, and bonds initially went up. I remember watching it going, oh, sweet, this is good for my bonds. And not so hot tamale, right? So, but I'm glad I got out of the day trade, right? But I did hold my swing trade position. But look at this. We've rallied almost all the way back. Unreal. Unreal to be able to overcome this kind of down bar with this volume. And now we're right back. So, all right. So let's go over to my swing trade. Kamal and I have bonds. I bought this a couple days ago. It went under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third. It had a double bottom with the bullish divergence, which are all good setups. Yesterday it was down, but it held the 30 RSI and it held the negative third ATR channel. Today is going to be a photo finish. We're at 29.74. So if this holds over 30, I will go ahead and keep it. I will go ahead and keep it. It has not hit my emergency stop, but if it closes under 30, that's my end of day stop. But if it could close over 30, that would be a really good sign. Under 30, over 30 again today, under the negative third, over the negative third. And again, we do have that double bottom with the bullish divergence in place. So I'm going to have to watch this one very carefully, looking for a close over the 30 RSI on TLT. If I don't get it, I'll just have to go out, get out and take the loss. And then I had a trade on Apple. Excuse me. Hope my voice lasts today. All right. Where is my Apple trade? Oh, here we go. All right, Carlos. Same thing, bud. Here's a V2. Day 1, 2, 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Triggered a V2. Sorry. And we also went under the 200, over the 200, but it also washed out the low of this previous range. So it's a false breakout to the downside with the V2 and a rejection of the 200-day moving average. I bought at 123.20. Next bar went zooming up for me. I took half at 123.54. Then I wrote it back down. My end of day stop triggered here at 123.01. So I made more on the half that I sold than I lost on the half that I lost. So it was still a positive trade, but good example of taking profits, making some money on that, and then losing some if it goes back and hit my trailing stop. And then of course, look at this rocket ship. Whew. I didn't get any of that. I was just kind of watching, to be honest with you. So those are my trades. Let's go over and take a look at everybody's else trades. Let's see. Nobody has Qs, right? Oh no, that was just my watch list. All right, let's start off with Steve Burns. Steve Burns did buy the he bought SWKS. He bought using the 520 EMA crossover yesterday. He bought at 181.06. It's 183.30. It's up 1.25% today. Was scary earlier this morning. You see it came back and tested the 20-day, and then of course with the news from the Fed, it rallied up. So way to go, Steve. Nice comeback, come from behind on that trade. Everybody had come from behind trades today. PKI. All right, Kamal bought this V2, close under 200, over 200, while MACD was positive, which is even better. Up. Sorry, he bought at 126.60. It's 127.29, up 1.06% today. So up on the day and up on the trade. BYD, this is Tracy and Paxton. Earlier today, this was down. Tracy and Paxton have had a beautiful trade on BYD back here at 47.38. Just moved up beautifully. Sold half here at 55.70 because of the technicals and the price action. Over 70, under 70, closed below the previous day's low. Went up, kind of came back down. Went up, kind of came back down. But it is back up today, 2.6%. So excellent there. Very nice. eBay, oh my goodness. Mamal and Timothy, fantastic. This is an example of a really good deep dip buy where they bought with the rejection of the 200. They didn't know it was going to do this, but they had a good risk to reward ratio, and that's all that matters under strong support of the 200. They bought at 53.30. It is 59.38. It's up 3.41% just today alone. And they are up over 10% on this trade. Wow, way to go, Tim, and way to go, Mamal. Checkpoint Software, oh, it's down a little bit. Okay, but Kamal's had a beautiful trade on Checkpoint from 110.80. It's 117.86. Fault again, Carlos. False breakout to the downside of this range plus the V1. That was the trigger. Kamal is up 6.52% on this trade. IWB. Steve bought IWB at 223.19. It is currently 225.20. He used the 530 EMA crossover. So that is doing nicely. Congratulations, Steve. NVAX. Okay, Frank. Frank bought NVAX all the way back here at 135. It more than doubled. He took advantage of that, sold 90% of his holdings near this top range here, came all the way back, which was not fun, but at least it was only 10%, but it's rallied nicely off the low and it's up today. So up on the day and up on the trade. BWA is another Frank trade. He bought at 47.12. He sold half up here about 49. It's 49.33. It is up on the day and he's up on the trade. SCCO. All right, Lilia did buy SSCO with a 520 crossover at 75.47. Moved up strongly the next day. I'm pretty sure Lilia did hit some profit targets there. Was down earlier today, but has reversed. So let me know if there's any update on that, Lilia. Okay. Shopify. Kamal with the he's the Shopify master. He bought Shopify at 1086. It is currently 1170.76. You know that old commercial when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen? That's like Kamal on Shopify. Which Kamal buys Shopify, we should probably all listen. This is up 7.41%. Congratulations. Etsy, Carlos. Whew, I saw this earlier and I was a little concerned, but now I am happy because Carlos bought Etsy with the 520 crossover. He didn't buy it the day that it happened. He asked me about it yesterday when it had pulled back. The 520 crossover was still in place, which is good. So he got a better price than he would if he would have just bought the 520 crossover. Was down a lot earlier, but look at this. This is nice. This is a false breakout to the downside and a V1 and an under 50 over 50 and MACD is positive. So you know, if I was not in this trade, this interests me right here. It's a good clean trade, but Carlos is already in it and he's up on the day already. All right, SSO. Steve has had a really nice trade on SSO. He bought using the 1030 EMA crossover. He bought at 97.68. It is currently 102.09. It's up 0.47%. So Steve is up 4.41% on this trade. Excellent. And SPXL, Steve bought using the 530 EMA crossover. He bought it at 80.45. It is currently 84.78 and he is up 5.24%. So wow, pretty good, I would say. I mean, after how we started out today and to have this now is just fantastic. Really, really fantastic. Mork says the Qs has a confluence with the 530 EMA crossover. Yeah, it has a 520 crossover as well. So that is definitely what I'm looking at. Lilia, hi Lilia. Good chatting with you earlier. Hope you are having a good day. Please give my best to the doggies. Okay, Steve Burns is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you as always. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here, Steve. You know I mean that, and I'm sure everyone else in the group appreciates you being here. So nice trades. I just went over your trades, so those are all doing well. Yavar is here. Hello, Yavar. Nice to see you, sir. Appreciate you being here. Morg says, hi, Steve. IAC is very close to a 520 EMA crossover for an IPO. Kamal wants to look at... CQQQ. Oh, man. Guggenheim China Technology. Higher low, V1, False breakout to the downside. Bounce off the negative third ATR channel. A lot of volume here, which is interesting. Let's go over and look at the weekly. Smack dab in the value zone, which is a good place to be if you're looking at the weekly. Yeah, not bad. It's interesting, the volume there. 580,000 shares traded, so it's higher low, false breakout to the downside, and a V1. I would like it better if MACD was positive. Probably going to run into some resistance here at the negative 1 ATR channel above, but I can't say for sure. So that's my take there. Excuse me, everybody. I apologize for the coughing and all that stuff. Fastly. Okay, well, here's a higher low V1 and MACD is green. Higher low V1s are good, but if MACD is positive, that's kind of what I was talking to you about on the phone, Kamal. Yeah, I mean, not too bad. You know, did we reject the 50 yesterday though? I can't really tell for sure. Let's go over and look at the weekly. I always like to look at multiple time frames. Well, the weekly has that 50 SMA right above it, so that's a bit of a red flag when you're looking at the multiple time frames. But it's a good clean trade. If I did buy this trade, I would get out with halfway here, so I would be risking this much to, you know, potentially make that much. So it does make sense. It does make sense. Oh, this is Fastly. Oh, that one. Yeah, I remember. I remember this one. Tough road to hoe here, though. Under 30, over, back under 30, over. Yeah. Bidu. Yeah, I like that one. I think I like that one better. I take that back. I don't know. I like how the halfway of the washout bar dovetails nicely with that 50, and we are over the 50 RSI. That's one of the reasons I like them better. Kamal says that Facebook trade worked well. Yes, Kamal, thank you. That was all thanks to you that I got into that Facebook trade. I didn't have my intention on that, and you pointed that out, and you made some really good points, and it ended up with a really good day trade, and then it ended up with a good swing trade as well. So thank you, Kamal. Morgs wants to look at JMIA. So it's a higher, the washout is not great on the V1. It does have a confluence with the 520 crossover. I do not know if that back tests well. If I was taking this just from a V1, I don't think I would take it because it has already rejected the 50-day moving average. If I was taking it with a 520 crossover, it looks valid. It's in a good spot, but you'd have to do the back test on JMIA to see if this actually back tests well. And I don't know. Oh, wow, I have a kitty cat walking by my door over there. I've never seen that cat before. He probably's taking a look at all the magpies. Huh. Frank, excuse me, everybody. I apologize. Dang it. All right, let's take a look at a poem from Frank. A trader knows when to fish or cut bait as the setup lures the stock to its new pricing fate. Wow. We watch and wait and measure its rate. This is how trading puts food on our plate. How good is that? Wow. A trader knows when to fish or cut bait as the set lures the stock to its new pricing. The setup lures the stock to its new pricing fate. We watch and wait and measure its rate. This is how trading puts food on the plate. It's unreal. I just don't know how you do it, Frank. It's just amazing. It's just a gift. It's an unbelievable gift you have. Thank you so much. PayPal. It's okay. I think it's already rejected the 50 RSI though. And MACD is not positive. I would like it much better if MACD. Hey, how about that? QS, we hit our profit target. Ta-da! Up 6.37% today. Not bad, huh? Okay, so let's go back to PayPal. I believe it's already rejected the 50 RSI. I would like it better if there was a positive MACD as well. You do have the 50-day moving average above there. Weekly is right in the value zone. That's fine, but we're also about halfway at the big down bar as well. I don't know. I've liked some other ones that you've shown me better than that. Tracy says, I'm in Facebook the same as you, Greg. Oh, are you? Well, let's get you on there. I thought I was the only person in here. Right on. Nice going, Trace. Okay, let's take a look over here. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Let me just take a current look here. Facebook, of course, doing great. Tracy and I doing great there. There's that cat again. I will be holding Facebook. Merck. Man, Merck every day has had profit targets. Like profit targets and it comes back. Profit targets comes back. But this has been a great trade all the way from here. Plus got a dividend on top of that. QS, that's the one that you just heard. That just hit my profit target of 60.60. So that's nicely up. 6% today. SPY was a losing trade. Square doing great. No profit targets today, but up 1.78% and profitable on the day. TLT, oh look, we're so close to that 30 RSI level above. It was ugly, freaking ugly earlier, but it did rebound like a champ. But my main focus today at the end of the day is right here with TLT. Looking for if it closes over 30, I will keep it. If it closes under, I will have to go ahead and get out of the trade. Excuse me. All right, let me. Okay. And then Apple was a day trade. All right. So listen, before we start looking at some end of day trades, looking for our best end of day trade setup, and there are quite a few candidates, so we will go through with fine-tooth comb, look for the best one, keeping in mind confluence combination of indicators, keeping in mind risk to reward ratios, and keeping in mind current correlation, or how many positions we have and how they're correlated in regards to the potential setups that we're looking at count heat, making sure they're good, clean trades. And but before we do that, I just want to switch gears, talk a little bit about trader psychology. Before we do that, it is the most important skill that you will ever learn. You know, have known people that have traded for decades. They still fight with it, and I'm hoping that by discussing this each day with you, that it will one day just kind of strike a chord and you'll go, oh, I get it now. But everybody, it's about being in trading for the long run. It's not about staking your livelihood or anything on one particular trade. It's just about thousands and thousands and thousands of trades that you take with an edge. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but letting that edge play out, letting the math work out. But in order for that to all work, you have to follow your plan. So one of my favorite posters out there is Trading Composure. I pull from Trading Composure's channel very often. As you know, he's at Trading Composure on Twitter. Do yourself a favor, go over and follow him because he puts out excellent information. So here's a list. It's a top 10 list from Trading Composure on things to think about when you are trading. Number 1, be prepared. What does that mean? It means doing your chart study, going through your watch list, looking at candidates, narrowing those down to the very best one like we do here on this channel, right? But you have to have a process with your charts and everything else so that you can stay organized. Before I do the podcast, I always look at my potentials, and I do the math. I take my maximum allowed loss and I divide it by the value of the two ATR. So I have them right here, right then. So I'm prepared. So I don't mess things up at the end of the day, and I have them right in front of me. So yes, be prepared. 2, manage your attachment to trade outcomes. This is a tough one. We need to manage our attachments. Of course, we all want to have profitable trades. Everybody want to have profitable trades, but you're never going to have complete profitable trades, right? You're going to have losing trades. So, if you're attached to a trade that has to be a winner, if it goes against you, well, you might keep it if it's a loser. And guess what? That loser may turn into a bigger loser. I have been there. So yes, manage your attachments to a trade outcome. Don't get married to it. Speed date it. If the date's going well, stay with it. If it's not, speed date, on to the next trade. All right. Number 3, manage your expectations. Yeah. When people come to me for lessons, they're like, what kind of return can I make? Can I make 40, 50% a year? I'm like, you can. It's not likely. And in order to do so, you are going to have to take a large risk. Sure, you can do it, but you're going to have to take a large risk. I'm somewhere in the 12 to 18 to 20% a year kind of approach. And so I think those are pretty realistic expectations. So manage your yearly return expectations and manage your expectations on each individual trade. Focus on learning. Well, you're here right now, so that is a good sign. Listen to my podcast, read Steve Burns' books, read other people's books like Dr. Alexander Elder, right? Trading for a living. There's a lot of other YouTube channels out that you could learn from, but never stop learning. Focus on learning, never stop learning. Be grateful for the opportunity, even if it results in a loss. Just the fact that you're sitting in front of your computer screen in your underwear and your slippers, right? And we have the opportunity to make or lose money, but always learn something here trading. We should be grateful for that. A lot of people in the world would like to do that. Be present. Of course, that's always good advice. Be present in the moment, whether it's trading or in life. Be introspective. Think about how you think. Think about how you think. Think about how you act. If you want to start a journal, that would be a good idea. But, get outside of yourself as a third person and try to observe yourself as a trader. Are you like a crazy wild person? Right? So always try to get outside of yourself and look at yourself trading and with an objective view. But yeah, be introspective. Focus on your own method. There's a lot of methods out there to trading. You do not have to use one of mine. You don't have to use other people's. You can come up with your own. But find a method that suits your personality, that accounts for asymmetrical risk, which means that you're risking less than you can potentially make based upon support below you and resist above you. Cut out the noise. There's all sorts of noise. I don't even listen to CNBC or any of those financial networks. Usually I'm the one asking everybody else, what's going on? Because I just don't want the noise. I don't want some talking head on the screen to get into my head and, XYZ stock is good. He may have a nice suit on. She may have a nice dress on, look professional and use all the buzzwords, but it doesn't mean anything. Keep things simple. That's right. Keep things simple. Good risk to reward ratio, position size correctly, get out when you're supposed to. Stay in when things are going well. So thank you, Trading Composure. I think these are 10 really great points. And who knew trading was so tough that you had to deal with all of this psychological fear, greed, being introspective, managing your expectations. A lot to it, right? But thanks again, Trading Composure. That was helpful for me, and I hope it was helpful for everyone else. What do we have? We have 20 minutes left. Okay. Steve says Monster is close to a 1050. So let me write that down. So Monster is a 1050 EMA crossover. Morgs, that is enough for me to see a stock that trends and swings in trade. Monster has a 520. Oh, Etsy. Sorry, Steve. 520 on Monster. Oh no, that's not Monster. I always get those confused. MicroStrategy. Yes, it does. So if you want to play the Bitcoin game, this is how to do it. 520 crossover does look like it is happening. It looks like not quite MACD, but we did go under 50, over 50. Let's look over at the weekly. Weekly is a little high for me up there at that second ATR channel. But yeah, 520 crossover. PTON bounced off of the... Yes, it did. And a V1, Steve. Higher low, V1, close back above, rejection of the 200 with the V1, and it's a higher low. MACD is positive. Down a penny. Huh. We are below the value zone. That's going to act as a little resistance. So, yeah, good to know. So let me put... MSTR. 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 All right. Merck making a high on today. That's good. Boyd Gaming making a high. That is excellent. Let me see where TLT is. Ooh, it's just dealing with that 30 RSI right above, isn't it? That's the level. That 30 RSI is level. So if this closes below 30, I am out of there. All right. So let's take a look at some potentials today. Johnson & Johnson had a 520 crossover yesterday, down on the day, rejected the 50-day moving average. MACD is positive. If we come over to the weekly, we're stuck right at the 1 ATR channel, not doing much. I think I'm going to pass on Johnson & Johnson. Amazon, I like. We have a higher low close above the 200-day moving average and a V1. So it's a higher low close above the moving average. This does backtest well. Let's take a look over on the weekly. Weekly, we're right in the middle of the channel. We're right at resistance with a 10 and the 20. But that one is definitely a possibility. Is it chasey? It's not that chasey. I don't know. We'll see. Beyond Meat has a rejection of the -1 ATR channel and an intraday rejection of the 200 and 50-day moving average. I like this better, again, because this is a higher low. See, this was an under 200, 250, over 250, but came from a lower low. We rallied, came back down. I mean, even though the lower low rejection of the 250 worked well, at least temporarily, I like this one better. 200-day moving average there above as resistance. I like Amazon better. The Qs, as we discussed, 520 crossover. This does backtest well. I like where it backtests right in the middle of the channel of the value zone. So I like those two the best. VIX, getting close to the 30 RSI down there, isn't it? 32.95. If we go down tomorrow, we'll have a confluence of the 30 RSI and the -3rd ATR channel. I mean, depending how far we go. Looks like we have the second ATR channel. MACD is positive here, and we do have a double bottom with a bullish divergence on VIX on the weekly. So that's another good sign, but still need to have a trigger. MSTR, we discussed that with a 520 crossover. 758.38 to 757.98. So yes, it does have the crossover, and it's up 7.68%. today. So I would say I like Amazon, the Qs, and Monster the best so far. Let's look at some other ones. NKTR, this is a higher low V2. Looks like we had a 520 crossover. Nice higher low V2. The only thing I could ask better for, on this one would be that MACD was positive. Let's look over at the weekly. It's fine. It's been holding the 5 EMA and the 1 ATR channel. So this one's not bad. Only 518,000 shares traded, so I don't like that as much. GSX Technologies here. Higher low V1. Above the 50 RSI. Up 3%. Big down bar that we had. That concerns me a little bit. VGR, it's a V1, but there's no in the value zone, but there's no, well, it's above the value zone now, but it triggered in the value zone. No sideways motion, so I'm going to stay away from that one. TME, wow, bullish engulfing bar. That's certainly a V1. Earnings are coming up. I don't think I like that. We've had resistance here and here, and we've kind of stopped right about here as well. Pretty high on the weekly, so I'm going to stay away from that. Qs, we already looked at that. TMUS, T-Mobile, this has been moving sideways. This is probably going to do something amazing one way or the other, either to the upside or the downside, but I don't see a clear signal there. NVAX, that's Frank's 520 crossover, MACD crossover, but I don't know if that backtests well. SINA, just sideways motion. Again, this should probably bust out one way or the other. I just don't know which way. And so I'm going to stay away from that. Disney, well, we were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We had a lot of sideways motion. We do have a V1 today and a rejection, probably a rejection of the 50 RSI. Let me see. Not quite. Is it a false breakout to the downside? So here's the low of the range. So yes, Carlos, this is a false breakout to the downside from this low here and a V1. It's above 50 RSI. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's too high for me. I just don't like buying things up this high. You're better off if the price has a confluence of being at a lower price in the value zone. That way, both time frames you're in the value zone. I know that doesn't always happen, but that's ideally. BKNG, which is Booking Holdings, having a really nice day. This is too chasing. BMRN. It's a V1, but not enough washout. Ad Vibe, wow. Hey, kitty cat. Do I have a new cat now? It's my good luck trading cat over there. Look at this. I don't know what happened here. I don't know if this is earnings or a bad news announcement. Wow. Yeah, I would not buy this. And IQ. This is a false breakout, Carlos. This is a false breakout to the downside and a V1. Here was the low of the range. We rallied back up. Today we went below this low and closed back above, and we have a V1. That's pretty strong. That is pretty strong. IQ, I don't know what they do, but I'm going to go with old school here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a half a position in Amazon with a close back over a higher low V1 and close back over the 200, and I'll take a half position in the Qs with the 520 crossover. They're correlated, obviously. Amazon makes up a big proportion of the Q index, and so I'm not going to buy both because, you know, they're both either going to go up or down together, most likely. I guess it's a possibility that they don't have to, but just so I have a little diversification in case one does one thing and the other does another thing. So yeah, as long as Amazon closes above the 200-day moving average, I will keep it. I will buy it. I'd like to see it come back down, give me a little better risk to reward ratio. But higher low close back above the 200 and the Qs, 520 crossover. So that is what I am going to do. So let me see. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. And I better check in on bonds. Let's see what we're doing there. Right now it's 29.50, so looks to me like this will be closing under, in which case I'll have to get out, but I will wait till the end. So the Dow's up 166, NASDAQ up 38 only now, S&P up 8. Frank says, it seems unreal, but I can remember shopping bank CD rates for my father that were still in double digits. I remember that as well. Morg says, Greg, when you're looking at buying Qs, would you rather buy QLD to get more moves? I mean, you could. I mean, they both back test well, but you know, I already have Facebook. I already have Square. I already have QS, you know, so I don't need, I mean, you could, certainly you could. It's just that you're risking twice as much. So it depends if you're more after profit or you're more about taking a look at your risk. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. You could buy QLD instead, but again, you know, I always talk at the beginning of the podcast about taking a look at correlation. If I wasn't in anything, if I wasn't in any NASDAQ stocks, could I possibly do something? Sure. But again, I already have Facebook. I already have Square. Those are going to move up and down so I'm just going to stick with Qs, but there's no right or wrong answer there. Steve is long Monster, MicroStrategies at 88.38 on the 520 crosser. I wonder how many people go to buy MicroStrategies and they actually look at Monster symbol and buy Monster symbol. Interesting, right? All right, so I'm going to put the Qs up here. And I'm going to put Amazon there. That's not Amazon. I'm going to get rid of VIX. So the NASDAQ keeps going down there. So I'm going to kind of wait before I make my move on. I'll tell you what, I'll do this. I'm going to go here. Bum, 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 bum. All right, and then I'm going to do this as well. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so that's going to be blah, and that's going to be this. Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait it out till the end. If we get a sell-off at the end, then I'll get a little better price. And I still have to deal with the Qs or the TLT here. So right now 29.51. And I'll get Steve's put up after the market closes. Morgs, if you use the ATR for position size, then you can come up with a smaller position size if you go with QLD. It's 100%. If you use 2 ATR for your position size, doesn't matter if it's double leveraged or if it's triple leveraged or anything else, because you're telling it exactly how much you're willing to lose, and it's accounting for that. So yeah. But if you use a 10% position size, just a flat 10% position size to buy something, and if you buy the QLD instead of the QQQs, then you're really, really doubling your risk. But if you use two ATRs, you're not doubling the risk at all. It's all going to be the same. Steve's long QQQ 321.41. Just waiting to see if I have to get out of TLT here. Looks like I probably will have to, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Nectar, I think I have Nectar. I think we looked at that, didn't we? Yeah, it's okay. It's definitely okay. It's a higher low V2. Looks like we crossed under over with the 520. Looks like we went under 50, over 50 weekly. Holding support of the 5. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it gives you a pretty good risk to reward ratio, David. Right about there, and increased volume today. So yeah, that does look good. Facebook's, I mean, not Facebook, bonds are 29.82, huh? All right, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and buy my Qs because I have to mind the TLT, and I'm also buying Amazon, a half position. So I'm buying a half position in the Qs. I'm buying a half position in Amazon. Oh my gosh, TLT's at 29.78. Interesting. 29.78. Well, I'm probably just going to have to say goodbye to TLT here. I won't be able to manage two accounts at the same point here. Oh, this is going to be tough. $29.80. I have 10 seconds. I'm going to have to pull the trigger. Okay. Done with TLT. That was a losing trade, but what are you going to do, right? All right, so let me see where I got everything. Okay, SPY I bought at 397.26. Amazon I bought at $3,134.92, and the Qs at 321.58. All right, so I am out of TLT. SPY. I got into SPY at 397.26 for the overnight SPY trade. Amazon with the close over the 200-day moving average, the higher low close, I got in at 3134.92. My end of day stop on this will be a close under the 200-day moving average. And the Qs with the 520 crossover, I got in at 321.58. All right. And this is a crossover trade. So in the future, if the price closes below both the 5 and the 20, I will get out of half. If the 5 then actually crosses back under the 20, I will get out of the second half. So listen, if you have any new entries or exits for me today, this would be the time to put them in the chat and I will get them all updated. Just real quick, just to remind you, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I teach a 15-hour course, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. In it, I teach you all 5 of the trading approaches that I use. I teach you step by step how to identify them, position size, end of day stops, emergency stops, profit targets, and you know, regardless of what the market's doing, one of these 5 trading approaches will probably be available to you to use. And I've been using these for over 25 years now, and I think it's a really good course. So if you are interested, all you have to do is reach out to me, send me an email. Email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter, and if you do reach out to me, I'll reply and say, let's set up a Skype call. Let's get it scheduled. And in that Skype call, I just want to learn more about you and your trading, your challenges and your goals. It's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course as well. And then you can think about it. And if you decide you actually want to take the course, just email me back and we will get it scheduled. But it's a good course. I know many of my students that I have turned out have become really good traders. And I think one-on-one is the best way to learn. And again, I apologize to Tracy and Paxton tonight for having to reschedule our one-on-one lessons tonight. It's just, you probably hear from my voice. I definitely am under the weather at the moment. Also, secondly, if you do, if you're not able to do the one-on-one course financially, I do have a online course, my first one that I've ever created. It's up on udemy.com. The link is in the description of this video. And in that course, it's 9.5 hours of video, 26 videos. I teach you step by step the deep buy stock trading strategy, which I use all the time. It's really good. It's only like $12, $13, $14. You are definitely going to learn a lot from that for the price you have to pay. So if you're interested in that, you want to get started with that, the link is in the description of this video. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could take a few minutes or a few seconds, and hit the thumbs up button. It helps build the channel, keep the channel around, lets YouTube know there's some valuable content here. Okay, so that's all from me on that stuff. Now, let's, so let me start here. Let's see, Steve. Okay, so Monster, MNST, no, yeah. Okay, so Steve, no, MNST, MNST. Steve, is that MNST or no, MSTR? MSTR. This is the one that has the 5. Yeah. Okay. So Steve is in MSTR. Confirm that with me, Steve, if you can, because I don't think you bought Monster Drink, right? You bought this micro strategy. 88.30. Nope. It really was Monster. Oh, Lord. All right. Here we go. I don't see the 520 though, Steve. Maybe you're just buying a pullback from the 520. All right, but nonetheless, this is the right stock, 88.38. Steve is also in QQQ, which I am in. $321, 41, 520 EMA cross over. Steve is also in QLD, which is the double leveraged Qs. Okay. $119.07. Good. You're in the money already. Steve says the Qs are my taxable trading account. QLD is my tax deferred. Okay. Okay. Kamal is out of TLT. All right. Well, it was a good setup. That one just didn't work. Out of Checkpoint Software. Locked in profits there. Very nice, Kamal. In Fastly. That higher low V1 it looks like. Gary says, I must be on a delay with you. Went to place a trade and the bell rang. No new trades today. I do, however, have a half position in Amazon. So yeah, there is a delay, Gary. I think you guys are 7, 15, 20 seconds behind me. Because when I speak, you don't hear it for a little bit. So Gary is in a 1/2 position. Johan is in the Qs. And BIDU yeah, it's pretty strong setup there. Okay, Lilia says I'm out of SSCO. Okay. That one didn't. That one didn't work. Gary says, I have to run. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Gary. Okay, and Mamal, I don't know if you were here, but so for new positions, and I put you there in Etsy, but for new positions, I kind of only reserve that for my students that were one-on-one students, just because it was getting a little out of hand with everyone putting up their positions. So I hope you understand. We've got you there on the Etsy one, but it's just to save time. But if you ever did become my one student, then we would do it. But it's just a way to kind of reserve that only for the one-on-one students. I hope you understand. But really nice job today on eBay. Dan says thumbs up. Yes, I would appreciate that, Dan, if you could. Tracy says feel better, Greg. Thank you so much, Tracy. And again, apologize. I have never had to cancel a lesson ever since I've been teaching, but I just think you want me at my best anyway, right? Miko says, thanks, Greg. Take care. Thank you, Miko. Appreciate that. But Ryan says, MNST would make more sense. It is in the 80s. Yeah. Yep, exactly. I totally had those ones confused, but Steve said it was 88 something. So yes, that has to be Monster Energy, not MicroStrategies. So let's see what's happening after hours. Anything exciting? Apple's down a little bit. Amazon's down a little bit. Facebook's up a little bit. Merck's up a little bit. Q's down. S&P up. Square up. Excuse me, I apologize for my coughing. All right, wow, what a day, huh? Holy hot tamales. So listen, if you have any more questions, please let me know. Let me just real quick go over this. My favorite little saying at the end, nothing to do with trading, but just to do with life. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction, by Martin Kornfeld. And I think truer words have never been spoken. It's not so hard to go out and be nice. Just do one nice thing for another human today. It will make their day. Go out if you can. Also do another nice thing for an animal. It will make their day, and it should also make you feel better. So all in all, it's a good thing. And if we all did that every day, I mean, the world would be a better place, like quickly, right? If everybody in the world just did one nice thing for an animal, one nice thing for a human, it would make a big difference. So why don't we let it start with us, and let it start here in this little podcast, and who knows, maybe we can do the one random act of kindness daily wave around the world. Wouldn't that be something? Okay. Lova says, Jonathan says, cheers, guys. Have a wee rest, Greg. Yes, I am going to bed after this podcast, for sure. I wish I could go up in the mountains. It's a beautiful day, but that would not be smart. I have to recover. But cheers to you, Jonathan, as well, my friend. Lova says, thank you for your generous advice that you give on, even give on a sick day. Thank you, Lova. Appreciate that. Johan says, thanks, Greg. Get better soon. Thank you. Kamal says, thanks, Greg. Feel better soon. Thank you, Kamal. I've been fasting all day as well, Kamal. I think I'm going to try to fast the rest of the day. I've been fasting a lot lately. Okay. Any other questions? Anything can I help anybody with anything? Do they have any questions on what I did today, or any general strategy questions, position sizing questions, anything I can try to help you out with? Carlos says, thank you as always. Feel better. Rest will definitely help. Yes, for sure. Been drinking tea, and I think the best thing for me will just be to sleep. Yep. So, I mean, wow, what a day. I mean, what a comeback day. just amazing. Just amazing. So just a real quick recap. Facebook hit the one profit target here. This has been a beautiful trade. I'm more than 1.5 ATR for my entry, so I'm now in trailing stop mode. So I'll look for a close below the previous day's low. Merck, it's been a wonderful trade. I'm in trailing stop mode. I'm looking for a rejection of this 50-day moving average or a close below the previous day's low. QS, really nice, up 5% today. If this moves 1.5 ATRs for my entry, I will go into trailing stop mode with that as well. SPY, it's just a simple overnight SPY trade. Square came roaring back up like a monster. Has to move 1.5 ATRs for my entry, then I will go into trailing stop mode there as well. 1/2 position with the 520 crossover on the entry on the Qs. If it comes back but holds the moving averages or tests them, I may add my second half there to reduce my cost basis, but we'll see. And then 1/2 position on the Amazon. This is very easy one. I like this because MACD is positive. Close under, close back over the 200, and that came from a higher location. You see this one under 200, over 200, but it came from a lower low and it failed. Higher low closes back above the 200s. Higher low anything are better than lower low. Just anything as a general rule. David says, feel better, Greg. Thank you, Dave. Good seeing you, buddy. Hope you and the family are doing well. All right. Well, I think that's it. Thanks a lot for coming, everybody. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button and there was something that was helpful for you here today, I would appreciate if you could take a couple seconds and hit that before you boogie and get on with your day. All right. Well, I'm going to run the really great, outstanding U.S. legal disclaimer at the end here. I know everyone will stick around for that, but hopefully I feel better tomorrow. Hopefully I have a good day tomorrow, and have a nice rest of your day. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and Forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.